Okay, how's everybody doing this evening? I hope everybody's having a good holiday season. I think we're coming on, what next week is Christmas, so this week's been a little bit slow. And actually, you can kind of tell it down here. There doesn't seem to be too many people out and about like they usually are. So, and plus it's just a little bit cold for us here in Southern California. So we're in one of those periods of time where it's a little bit cold and not many people are out, but hopefully the closer we get to actual Christmas, more people will come down here. And hopefully I'll get a few people on my video that can make it a little more exciting. Because I know people love it when people pop into my video. And I never plan that. That just happens spontaneously. So if somebody shows up in the back of my video and they're talking to me or something like that, that's not something I set up ahead of time. That's just the way it is. So I want to talk a little bit about the blockchain, obviously, the EOS blockchain. And where we're at today. And actually where we're at today, I think, is a lot of people, and I might as well just say it, I think a lot of people are losing faith. I think a lot of people are losing faith, a lot of people are dropping off. I see less and less content being written about the blockchain, less and less content about EOS, less and less content, more people bitching about Bitcoin and Ethereum and, you know, their projects, and Bitcoin's not really doing anything right now, and, you know, developers in Bitcoin, you know, some of the flaws with Bitcoin, some of the flaws with Ethereum, all this other stuff. You know who the people are that talk that way. There's a lot of them out there. So I think there's a lot of negativity going on right now with the blockchain, which is why this is one of the best times ever to get involved. And I'm not saying by buying the token. I'm saying by just getting involved, maybe by starting to learn about a project. Maybe just starting to understand what's going on. Maybe doing what I'm doing, creating some content, writing some articles, do some stuff like that. Because let me tell you, this is going to grow. It'll turn around. We are in dark days for the blockchain. And I've been doing this for a few years. My son's been doing it for a few more than me. So we've seen the better times, and now we see these times. And these are times where things are a little bit slow. People have lost a little bit of faith. Some people are dropping off. But I can tell you, you never made those great gains. The big money was never made on the tops of the peaks. It's always made in the valleys. You gotta get involved in the valleys, and of course this is a valley. We're in a deep valley right now. I think it's going to turn around. I believe 2020 is going to be a good year. I think for a couple reasons. The first reason is that it's an election year. I just looked at the national numbers as far as the stock market's concerned, and as far as some of the other things. You wouldn't think so, but actually the economy's doing pretty well. Things are going very well. So we could have an incredible stock market here in this upcoming year, and especially with interest rates low and everything like that. There's a couple things can happen when that happens. Usually I talk in a way that when the stock market and everything goes down, it's going to be a big boom for currencies or cryptos. But the opposite could also happen too. As the stock market goes up and prices become better and things become inflated, people get scared because the stocks are trading so high that they got to find something else to get involved with. And of course, crypto is very low right now. So if I'm owning a stock that I've made a lot of money on this year, and I'm afraid that stock is overvalued, and I'm afraid it's over the top, and it's going to go down, I'm going to pull my money out of that stock, and I'm going to find something else to invest in. And of course, if all the stocks are overvalued and everything else is doing well, as what it's looking like right now with the economy, people are going to start hunting for investments. One of the things they're going to start doing is they're going to look at cryptos, because the Bitcoin's down, the Ethereum's down, the EOS is down, Monero, all these things are down, you know, and they're going to start looking for other places to put the money, and they may start looking at the cryptos again, and that's what I think is possibly going to happen in 2020. The opposite thing that could happen is that overinflation. The market continues to be overinflated. People start losing value in their bank accounts, and they start searching for ways to protect their money, so they start buying cryptos then too, because the money, and that just continues to decrease in value, has no buying power. So either way, good market, bad market, I think cryptos have a real good chance of going up in 2020. And I think that they definitely will. I think election years tend to be good years financially. If you go back and look at this, the graphs on it, election years tend to be good. Nobody wants to have a bum economy for election years, because obviously people want to be reelected, parties want to get power, they know it's the next 4 years, especially with the presidency, and they want to maintain that power. So the best thing to do is have people be happy. So yeah, I think this a good year for the cryptos, a good year for the stock market, and a good year for anybody that wants to buy in right now, especially cryptos, because cryptos are really, really, really low. So yeah, I think we have a very, very good future coming ahead of us. If you can just, get through this time and not be too negative, I think you're going to do very well. So now that I've discussed that, the overall, the big picture, the macro picture, I'll talk a little bit about EOS and the applications and where we're at there as far as I'm concerned. And I want to kind of simplify this as much as I can, because simplicity is so much more valuable than complexity. I watch a lot of videos on blockchain, and even though I really have gotten to a point where I'm pretty knowledgeable. I mean, there's very rarely can anybody shake me with something about the blockchain. Very rarely. I've got a lot of understanding of the blockchain, and not because I'm just super smart. It's because I just got involved with it, got interested in it, found it very enjoyable, found it interesting, because it actually covers, it clicks all the spaces for my interests. One of my interests is I love the markets. I used to be a stockbroker. So exchanges and markets and all that trading thing, I love it. So cryptocurrency definitely makes that checks that box for me. The second thing it does is that it, I love the fact that there's a governance issue with it, that it has to kind of reinvent a community, and we have to build community rules and community values and what we want, what we don't want, what makes it, what doesn't make it. It checks that box for me too. And I guess with that box, you'd have to say that so many people in crypto would be like people that are from the libertarian side of it. Not that I was ever a libertarian, but I definitely enjoyed listening to libertarians, and I enjoy that side of the argument. And so that's another reason why I love it. We need something to kind of protect us from government overreaching, and so that's another reason. So it checks that mark for me. Check. The markets, I love the stock. Used to be a stockbroker. I love that. I love the fact that it's a libertarian. I love that. So those two marks checked off for me. The third thing that it does for me that I really love is technology. I love technology. I've been involved with the internet since its very inception. Wasn't so much into computers. I loved computers. I think I owned my first computer way back when. I can't even remember when I owned my first. It was a little IBM computer. And a personal computer. I probably had one of the first personal computers. And I used to do a lot of stuff on it, but it didn't really grab me until the internet. When the computer was on the internet, then all of a sudden that was it for me. I think for the last 20-some years, I've stared at a computer screen almost every day, all day long. Almost. And I'm not a gamer. So I have an incredible interest in the internet, incredible interest in information, and that's what the internet is. It's information. I love information. I love the internet. I love technology. So all those three things are in cryptocurrencies. And then the other thing I really love about crypto, and I just had this, is the incredible personalities that are in cryptocurrencies. The people that are developing in cryptocurrencies are incredibly intelligent and entertaining, and have some kind of like, they're the kids that were never scared to talk up in class. I mean, these are the kids that were always like, they always had a point of view, and you were going to hear their point of view, and they didn't care about how they got it across. They got it across. That's cryptocurrency. That's the crypto market for you. That's the blockchain people for you. Those people that just aren't afraid to talk up. That's why I love these. I love the community. I love the people. I love the technology. I love the trading. I love everything about it. So I would say that over the last few years, I got involved with it for those reasons, and it's been something that I enjoyed. So it hasn't been something that I struggled to learn. It's been actually something that I will spend 8 hours a day on. And at the end of 8 hours, go, wow, I had, take a little bit of break and hit it again tonight. I want to go back and study this or study that. And usually it's just another door opens. Like I'll learn about I don't know, something, some way something works. Like I'm studying right now about so the way some of these platforms work. It's like the deeper I get into this thing, the more I want to study. I go to the EOS.io website all the time, and I go through their latest updates and look at all that stuff, and actually enjoy looking at it. I enjoy that. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me, or maybe there's a lot of other people like me, but I just enjoy that stuff. I much enjoy the blockchain. I actually think that it was kind of tragedy for me that I had to be this old before this came into my world, my life, because this is basically what I've been waiting for 60 years. I'm almost 60, I'm not 60 yet, pretty close, but I wished I would have been like my son, who's 28 years old, and his life, because he's got his whole career to be in blockchain. I didn't get my whole career to be in blockchain. I got stuck with things I really didn't want to do because the blockchain hadn't been invented yet. So yeah, my biggest regret is the fact that it came a little late for me in life, but it doesn't matter because I found what it is that I really wanted to do, and I've been doing it, and this is what I do. So, and I'm rambling a little bit here, but I'm giving you some text and some background because I want to bring it to some points that I want to talk about. One of the things I want to talk about is I want to talk about the fact that where we're at. And one of the things I see that where we're at right now is that people are getting a little bit negative and a little bit down on the blockchain. And hopefully that turns around very soon, but it will turn around because the prices will get better, I guarantee you. The second thing is that when these applications, or when things were being built on the internet, the first layer of this whole internet age was applications like Facebook, where you literally went on and you just posted content. And you posted that content for free. I was never a big Facebooker, and not even a big Facebooker for today. And the reason is because I always loved YouTube more, because I thought, well, why would I want to post it on, a static website where I could be doing a video instead? If you check my video, my YouTube channel, it goes clear back. This one goes back to 14. And I think my original one was predated YouTube. I was actually on it when it was just Google video. So I was more of a YouTube person than I was a Facebook person. But literally Facebook lets you put content up, and then Facebook uses that content, and they get incredible data or information from that content. How to market people, where people are at, literally can predict anything from that content. Very, very valuable. People didn't realize how valuable it was until lately, but extremely, extremely valuable, and you didn't get paid a thing for it. Second level now is we have cryptocurrencies. We have sites like Steemit. Steemit's a great site because Steemit does pretty much the same thing Facebook does, except now it has a currency involved with it where you can actually upvote people and pay them for their content. So if you like what they wrote, you can upvote them. And if you upvote them, they're going to get a little bit of money. And in some parts of the world, where things are less expensive than they are where I'm at. I'm in probably one of the most expensive places in the world in San Diego. But there are places in the world where people can write Steemit articles and make a living. This is their everyday ordinary job. They can exist, they can live, they can pay their bills by writing Steemit articles, literally by people upvoting their content. So you write an article and people like it, they can upvote you, and you can make a living. Unlike Facebook, where you don't get paid anything for it, this is next level. This is next level. Is things like Steemit, where it really literally helps people around the world to make a living, to help people that are in very the economies that are where things are less expensive, places in the country, in the world, where money is, parts are Argentina, where the money's inflated and has no value. Yeah, you could Steemit and some of these other things, you could make an existence with it, even though it's not a lot. But yeah, you can make a living at it. Next level, which is where we're at with this with our application, which is the challenge application. So now we've taken it to the next level. The next level is, as in Steemit, where you sit there and you write out the content, and then you wait for somebody to upvote you, and you get a little bit of a reward for it. We've made an application where it geolocates you, and now you can get paid for actually doing the thing, or doing something, doing anything basically, and monetize it instead of having to write it, having somebody upvote it. Now you can literally challenge somebody on our application and have them go someplace, physically go someplace, and now get your upvote or get your reward or get your challenge, and have whatever they do get monetized. This is another level, and we wouldn't be able to do this a few years ago. In fact, I don't think we would be able to do it at all before we did it. This is literally the first time this has ever been done, and so the first time it really literally could be done technology-wise, because of the fact that it needs a cryptocurrency involved with it, because it has to be peer-to-peer. So there's no way to do a challenge with somebody where you could pay them for doing something, geolocate them, pay for doing something without a cryptocurrency involved. That if you didn't have challenge attached to this, you wouldn't be able to give them some reward. I mean, you couldn't do it through PayPal. You can't do it through Visa or MasterCard or anything like that. That's a third party. That would take something away from the transaction. It would also not be free-flowing throughout the world. So yeah, you couldn't do it unless you had the cryptocurrency. So it actually needs the cryptocurrency tied with the application for it to work. And that's what the challenge application is about. It's about having the challenges and then paying for the challenges with a cryptocurrency called Challenge, which is CHL, trades on Nudex. And we were going to add a couple other cryptocurrencies to it. So you can make challenges in Ethereum or Bitcoin or maybe a few others. So we're going to be doing that. And not only that, when you make the challenge, just to prove that you did the challenge, you'll be able to add a picture with that challenge too. So as somebody did with us today, they wrote an article on Steemit, which people have been doing every day for quite a few months now. People have been writing articles about challenge on our app, and they're coming up with ideas that we never thought of. I mean, we originally thought maybe this could be a workout application, challenge someone to do a workout, but we were so wrong, because it has been so much more valuable than that, so greater, so bigger, many more ideas have come about. As I said the other night, someone went to an orphanage the other day. Someone has talked about baking challenges to help a girls' school. Now today, same person that did the girls' school idea has come up with an idea of having people get health screenings. So you can literally challenge somebody to go get a health screening, have them geolocated at the health clinic so you know they're there, and then be able to have them take a picture to prove that they were there, to show that they were there, and then pay them for that. Give them some cryptocurrency, peer-to-peer, something we're not involved with, something that they can do on the blockchain with somebody else, and all that somebody has to do is issue the challenge and issue a few tokens for that reward. And it's done. So you get monetized, you get rewarded for doing something that is a benefit to you and benefit everybody that you know, because you can get your health screen, you can get something, you can get checked out by a clinic or by somebody just to make sure you're okay, and you can get paid for it, and it can be monetized. This could have never be done before. It needed the innovation of the blockchain for this to happen. It needed the innovation of cryptocurrencies for this to happen, and that's what we're doing, and that's why we're excited. And this is literally peer-to-peer. The other thing I think that is very unique about the challenge application is there is no limit on how much you can challenge somebody to do something. So whereas in maybe Steemit and some of these other ways that you can upvote somebody, it's very limited, because you can't, unless you're somebody that's got huge amounts of Steemit power or Steemit dollars or Steam dollars, there's only a limited amount of people that can give you so much. With challenge, you can literally give somebody as much as you like. I mean, there's no limit. I can pay someone $1,000 to walk across the street. I make a challenge with you. I'm going to challenge you to walk across the street. I can pay you $1,000 for walking across the street, or I can pay you 10 cents for walking across the street. We don't put any kind of throttle on it. We don't tell you what you can or can't do with this. We don't tell you that you can pay somebody this or that. You can pay them whatever you want to pay them. So there's no limit on what it is that you can pay. And like I say, literally around the world, without any limits, without any barriers, and it's peer-to-peer, and you can geolocate people and have them do things. We're building an infrastructure of putting people places and having other people be able to challenge them to do certain things at certain places, certain time, and things that can benefit people and benefit their lives. That's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, and that's why we're excited. The other thing about this, and I think that, and I've gone on for a while, so hopefully I don't repeat myself. Sometimes people repeat themselves in their videos, and I stop videos sometimes and restart them, and I got to make sure I didn't re-say this already, but I wanted to say that market is completely down right now. But the real play in this market right now probably isn't Bitcoin. It's probably not Ethereum. And EOS, I think, has a good chance of being a big returner. But when you find one of these applications that people are actually building and working on and developing, and the way you know is because they're out in front and they're talking about it. And you could also go to their app, like you can go to our app and see the upgrades and see the updates. And when you see one of those, and people are working on it every day and they're doing the development and they're not scared and they're not waiting for the next bull run for everybody else, for everybody to make money because everything's going up. Because, like I say, the stock market went too high and everybody jumped into cryptos, or maybe the inflation got too high and everybody jumped into cryptos. And so my project's going to do well because every project's going to do well. No, look for the projects that are building in the bad times. Look for the projects that are building when nobody's doing anything. And those projects, I think, you can see some incredible returns. You may see 1,000x. You may see 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, or as in Ethereum. I believe Ethereum, from where it started to where at the top, you're talking about could have been 1,000,000x. I can't remember exactly how many times it went up, but it went up a lot of times. Same with Bitcoin. 10,000x, 20,000x. There's going to be applications out there that do that. So, why Warren Buffett gets 25% a year, becomes the wealthiest man in the world, you could get 10,000, 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, 50,000, 60,000x on some of these cryptos. Now, as somebody says, and some of the YouTubers say, they go down. And we've seen that with our application. Our application's down 85, 90%. I think maybe 95%. But, it could also go up quite a bit too. So I think if you want to see the big gainers, where you could turn $1,000 into $100,000, or hopefully $1,000 into $1 million, those days are coming. There'll be something happen. We will see applications on the blockchain that will do everything that Ethereum did and do everything Bitcoin did, but you're going to have a greater appreciation because you're going to get them before they actually did appreciate. There's a lot of people that own Bitcoin at just a few dollars, and there's a lot of people that own Ethereum at just a few dollars. But there's a lot of these applications right now that have never made much more than triple zeros and three decimals, and so we're talking about hundredths of a penny. So we're a lot of these applications that are running on EOS right now, we're talking about hundredths of a penny. We're not talking about a penny. We're talking about hundreds of penny. So when you look at can Bitcoin go from $1 to $10,000? Someone's made a lot of money, but now it's got to go to $1 million for them to make the kind of money that they made from $1 to 1,000. That's the way these applications are. There's applications right now that are trading at hundreds of a penny, that if they're doing everything right and they're working and they got ideas and things are people are writing about it and talking about it and building, they will do the 100,000x, the 200,000x. So literally $1,000 could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. So those days are coming. Those days are coming, hopefully very soon. So anyway, I've rambled on for a while. Hopefully this video turns out. I will be making a live stream. I think tomorrow I'm going to do one with my son. We're going to talk a little bit more about the technicals of the application, what we're doing. We are making some changes. Some upgrades are coming very soon. So stay tuned. I will put the links for the application below. I also put the link for the article below that was in Steemit for the health screening for people to get challenges to go to the health screening, so you can check that out. So, but anyway, every time we read one of those articles, we get excited because we feel so blessed to have people using the application for those kinds of things. To have somebody go to a clinic, somebody to get some health care, somebody to get educated, somebody to help kids that don't have parents, to help kids that don't have that need other people to help them out because they didn't get a break in life, so like most of us did. So anyway, I appreciate you watching. Thank you.